Hi, this is Mr. Bidil. Today I'm going to talk about simple present tense in detail. Those students who have problems with simple present tense, they must watch this video. After watching this video, they will not have any problems with simple present tense. There are many students who make mistakes while using simple present tense because they don't know which subjects need SES or IS with main verbs. So, before getting to that, we need to talk about its definition. As you can see here, it is used to describe routines and habits, actions that happen again and again. Or you can say simple present tense is used to show an action or state that happens daily, regularly, or habitually. So, for example, you can say, I always eat lunch with my friends. I always eat lunch with my friends. Here, the word always talks about repeated actions. Here, the actions are repeated. He talks on the phone on Sunday. Here, the subject is singular. Therefore, we need to use is with the main verb. It becomes talks. She usually works on the road. Here, we use is with works. It becomes works because the subject here is singular. With he, she, and it. If we have any one of them in a sentence, we need to use SES or IS with the main verb because these subjects always need SES or IS with main verbs. So now we will talk about how to use them in structures. These structures are used for singular nouns and pronouns. If you want to make a positive sentence, you need to use this structure. If you want to make a negative sentence, you need to use this structure. And if you want to make an interrogative sentence, you need to use this structure. Well, first you need to use subject, she, and then verb walk we have here. And then you can add s, es, or is. Well, if the verb needs s, you need to use s there. If it needs es, you can use es there. And if it needs ies, you should use ies there. So this verb needs only s. It becomes walks. She walks in the morning. Well, this is the rest of the sentence or complement. If you want to change this one into negative, you can use does not. For singular, we use does not. She does not walk in the morning. Look at to the second structure. She, subject is she, does, then we use does, and then plus note, so it becomes does a note. And then first form of verb, we use a base form of verb. With the verb, we cannot use s, es, or ies. It should be in its pure form and then complement. So she does not walk in the morning. You cannot use is here. S will be incorrect because here we use does not. And after doesn't, we use first form of verb or base form of verb. We do not need to use s, es, or is with the main verb. And interrogative. So for interrogative, you need to use does, and then singular subject. Okay, she is a singular pronoun, and then first form of verb. Well, this is first form of verb, and then complement. Does she walk in the morning? And then you need to use question mark. So it becomes what? Does she walk in the morning? These structures are used for singular nouns and pronouns. These structures are not used for plural nouns and pronouns. If you have he, she, or it, you need to use these structures. For positive, you need to use this structure. If you want to make a negative statement, you need to use this one. And if you want to change that one into interrogative, you need to use this structure. So these structures are used for singular nouns and pronouns. Bear in mind, while using singular nouns and pronouns, you need to use s, es, or is with main verbs. These structures are used for plural nouns and pronouns. If we have plural nouns and pronouns, then we need to use these structures. Well, the first one is positive, the second one is negative, and the last one is interrogative. If you want to use a positive sentence, you need to follow the first structure. As you can see here, first you need to use subject. Subject is here, we is subject. Then you need to use verb, base form of verb. First form of verb you should use. Irrigate. You cannot use s, is, or is here and then complement or rest of the sentence you can say, or you can call it object if you have object there. So we irrigate those flowers. Well, if you want to change this one into negative, then you need to follow the second structure. We do not irrigate flowers. For interrogative, you need to follow the last structure. Do we irrigate flowers? So these structures are used for plural nouns and pronouns. We do not need to use doesn't, or we cannot use does not, we cannot use, because here we have a plural subject, and you cannot use does because here we have a plural subject. We is a plural subject, therefore we cannot use does or doesn't or is or is with main verbs. Bear in mind, we only use is or is when the subjects are he, she, it, or just nouns like Ali or Leila, or you can use car or whatever it is. If you have a singular subject, then you need to use is or is with the main verb. Bear in mind. And for plural, you don't need to use is or is with main verbs. Well, this is the major difference between singular subjects and plural subjects. Bear in mind, never ever try to forget while using simple present tense. You need to follow these structures, plural structures and singular structures.